ahead of her upcoming rescheduled championship unification for undisputed match against Savannah Marshall. Claressa Shields has come under fire by the PTB and Ring Magazine in particular for remarks that she has made that basically reflect the consensus of most boxing fans. When you talk about fighters fighting the best, when you talk about getting the opportunity to see the fights that you want to see as both a supporter and participant of the sport, you should not stand out or be held accountable for views that reflect what most people feel. Here, we will discuss Claressa's remarks and think about what's ahead as she prepares for her bout against Savannah Marshall.
Canelo being 31, he should fight against the other younger guys. Benavidez, Charlo. He fought against Caleb Plant. He fought against Billy Joe Saunders. Oh, scratch that. Demetrius Andrade to give anybody smoke. Boo-boo, anybody. Listen, I love Charlo. I got a lot of respect for Benavidez. But Andrade, this dude, listen, I want to see all of them fight. I know everybody wants to fight against Canelo because he went to Canelo press conference. Like, Andre tried to press him out for real. So it's just like, okay, Canelo, you're not fighting against Mexican fighters, but you're not fighting against black fighters either. Like, we need to get this going. So I want to see Canelo against Andre, against Charlo, against Benavidez, and I want to see everybody. Charlo against Andre, Benavidez against Andre. Like, those are fights that the fans want to see. Those are fights that I want to see, and I'm a fan. Canelo being 31.
Spoken like a true supporter of the sport. This soundbite Claressa Shields recently made shortly after Canelo Alvarez's lackluster victory against Triple G in the third of their trilogy fight, which no one asked for, especially since he had lost his previous fight against Dimitri Bivol. A rematch against Bivol would have been more of sorts according to fanfare. But Shields makes a tremendous point. But even in doing so, she has been taken to task because Ring Magazine conveniently has stripped Claressa of her undisputed 154-pound crown. The reason being, according to Ring Magazine, is because she hadn't defended that particular crown. But this was without any communication with Claressa or her camp or representatives. Think about it like this, people. Do you remember the news sportscaster who spoke about LeBron James should just shut up and dribble? I believe Ring Magazine extended their own courtesies toward Clarissa in this instance, telling her to shut up and box, which she will be doing on the 15th of October in her rescheduled from original date of September 5th against Savannah Marshall for the undisputed middleweight championship. Now, if and when Clarissa is successful in that bout, will Ring Magazine show up and try to hang that title around her waist again? Let us not forget her remarks about Canelo Alvarez, who is the PTB's darling of the sport, were offensive to a minority, basically Canelo supporters, and people who do not kiss the rear end of cinnamon. Now, with the mouth that she has, Clarissa can be disrespectful if she wanted to be, but she was not. She was basically speaking from the heart, and she basically spoke from the minds of a lot of people who support the sport of boxing. The things that she said were right along lines of how we see and want the sport of boxing to be: the best fighting the best. And the names that she ran off were fighters that she rightfully spoke about who did not get the opportunities when they were readily there against Canelo. But let us not also forget who owns Ring Magazine, once considered the Bible of boxing. In the mid-2000s, purchased by Oscar de la Hoya. Ever since, under new ownership, the magazine has had trouble maintaining integrity when it came to ranking fighters, covering fighters, and considering fighters and their accomplishments and deeds in the sport. These are all things that we have to consider when you think about the source and what the source is doing. Clarissa Shields has not let the sport down. As a pioneer in the sport, this woman has moved down from higher weights when she turned pro, winning and capturing titles and becoming undisputed 2 times over already. As you think about this, you would think that Ring Magazine would definitely want to remain in her good graces because of how she represents in the sport. But let's just also consider the complexion, huh? When it's coming from someone that is not of Latin descent, it's considered offensive. But David Benavidez has been asking for his shot. So has Demetrius Andrade. So has Jamal Charlo. Was she wrong? Absolutely not. Was Ring Magazine wrong? More than likely. Because they saw fit to strip her conveniently after these remarks were made. Is that a coincidence? I don't think it is. Nor anyone with any proper sensibility when you talk about the sport of boxing. But that is why someone has to come to the defense and support of Clarissa. She is about to lay it on the line again And soon after that, she will return to MMA, where she is making a career there as well. The woman is doing what she can to be the best that she can and living totally up to the nickname, the GOAT. You can try to put a lid on it. You can try to silence her. But this is not going to go away, because what she said was something that should be paid attention to. Think about it like this. She could have not said anything, and we would still be dealing with what we're seeing when it comes to the men fighting, and Canelo in particular, who has renounced fighting Mexican fighters, his own countrymen. But as she pointed out, you're not fighting the good black fighters as well. Prove her wrong. Step in the ring. Fight someone with a pulse. Fight someone who has an opportunity. Fight someone where on the sheet it says 50-50. Canelo hasn't done that in a very long time. And Clarissa is about to do it in a couple of weeks. It would have taken place already had they not had the leader from the UK pass away. So, Ring Magazine, what side of the pond are you on? Seriously, are you looking to really show love and support for your own? And when I say your own, I'm talking about the international sport of boxing. And she's a world champion. Look at her hardware. That was earned. It wasn't graced upon her. It wasn't picked up from the surface. She made it in the ring. Blood, sweat, and tears, baby. This is what she was able to accomplish. And where is the respect for Ring? Where is the respect from Ring Magazine? We have to question ethics all across the table. This is not something that should go away easily. We have to pay attention to what we're witnessing. And I'll tell you, there's a number of people who do not agree, and that's okay as well. Because the people who don't agree typically stand to benefit in some kind of way from the silence, from the spotlight being shined in a different area. But no, we're asking that the light be shined right upon the stage of those who perform in the sport. It's not a lot to ask. But when you're being shut down, smothered, quieted, it looks awfully suspicious. And that's why I had to come out and say something myself. This is not going to go away. And Canelo Alvarez happened to be a part of her soundbite on this occasion. But he's not the only one. There are so many others who have benefited from franchise entitlement, from being able to drop a title and move up in weight. Half the time, guys are moving up in weight to avoid competition nowadays, outside of not being able to remain in proper shape. It's disgraceful. And now that you have the best of the women coming out saying something about it, because as she says, she's a fan of the sport that she participates in. And she only wants the best from them. Those contemporaries, the colleagues. And you can't blame her. Not one iota. So what is it going to be? Ring Magazine? Will you be there when Clarissa is successful against Savannah? Will you be asking her to hold that piece of hardware? Funny how you did something similar to Devin Haney. Devin Haney, the undisputed lightweight champion, who will be fighting on the same day. He had your belt, but you took him off of your pound for pound list. What sense does that make? He's undisputed at his weight class, but he can't make Ring Magazine's pound for pound list? And he also had your belt in his possession, which he declared that he would never wear again. And you classlessly stated, "Send it back to us, champ." I hope you've received it, because that is not a title that a real champion would want to hold. You, Ring Magazine, like so many of the sanctioning bodies, are a disgrace to the sport. And now that you've shown your colors, maybe the fighters of various colors can recognize this and move forward without you. Yeah, maybe they can go ahead and get started on their careers and be successful in other areas. Yes. Accountability is everything. And as long as we have champions like Clarissa Shields to represent, boxing is in great hands. And I hope that this champion does well on her championship night, because she represents totally like a real champion. Salute to Clarissa Shields, T-Rex, the GOAT. Yeah, I said GOAT for women's boxing, because she's totally stepping up in class. I don't like the fact that they pressured her to make some alternate comments, but that's okay, because her true sentiments came first. And that's what I'll adhere to. Just like when someone makes a mistake and the PTB likes to hold them to that, let us not forget Canelo Alvarez is a drug cheat. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is all I have for you at this time. You can leave comments. Let me know what you think of this video. Peace to everyone out there. And everyone, please remain safe.